The Weasel is the identity of John Monroe, a villain and enemy of Firestorm. He was also briefly a member of the Suicide Squad. Here we will tell their origin and their faces in the comics and in the James Gunn film. You're on the Characters from Fiction channel. It was created by Jerry Conway and Raphael Kyanan and first appeared in The Fury of Firestorm, The Nuclear Man Volume 2 number 36, in June 1985. Daninya made her first appearance when the corpse of one of her victims was being taken away by the police. Dr. Martin Stein began working at Vandermeer University located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. At that time, mysterious murders were taking place by a supposedly wild animal. Soon, Daninya attacked Stein while he was taking a shower in his hotel room, but Stein didn't understand anything because he couldn't see. Weasel then threw him out of the window, unaware of the doctor's powers, who managed to warn Ronnie that he came fast, and together they transformed into Firestorm, one of DC's most powerful superheroes, but Weasel had fled. He was an angry psychopath. His madness made him extremely fast and strong, and he moves like an excellent fighter and acrobat. His heels were very impressive. His suit has claws that also serve as climbing aids, as long as he can get his claws into whatever he's climbing. It usually slits its targets' throats or faces for maximum damage. Before continuing, subscribe to the channel to receive other videos with entertainment information, and give a like to help the channel grow. Weasel later returned and this time managed to capture Stein and Ronnie. He took them to a foundry house, where he intended to pour a melted steel cauldron on them. Martin and Ronnie transformed into Firestorm and managed to save themselves, but Weasel escaped again. They then began to investigate and found that all of the Weasel victims had two things in common. They were all Vandermeer employees and they all attended Stanford University in the 1960s, including Martin Stein himself. Weasel then appears and Ronnie and Stein transform into Firestorm and fight him. Finally they defeat him. After the defeat he was arrested in Belle Reve. It turned out that he was actually a man named John Monroe, who was an alumnus of Stanford and was dubbed a Weasel by his classmates for being non-existent and obnoxious. Years later, he became a professor in Pittsburgh, but he couldn't stand that many people who knew him as a student also worked there. He assumed they were there because they hated him and conspired against him. He then had a nervous breakdown and wore a costume and became Weasel. He murdered 3 of his classmates, Stanford alumni and a night watchman. He just left the corpses lying around. Monroe was recruited into the Suicide Squad and participated in a mission. He, along with the squad, faced the Destiny Patrol. In the middle of the fight, he slit the Cogitator's throat and apparently killed him. When Rick Flag used the Thinker's helmet to control the situation, the helmet was programmed to shoot whoever killed him, so he shot Daninya with lightning that died. Monroe was resurrected as a Black Lantern during the Closest Night saga. He served as a supporting character and barely appeared. Amazingly, Daninya was among the undead who had been victims of the squad who had been revived. It is assumed that after returning to normal, his body was locked in the morgue at the headquarters of the LJA, along with many others. After the reboot of the DC Universe, he first appeared in Forever Evil number November 1, 2013. He was shown at the end as being a member of the Secret Society of Supervillains. He later returned when he tried to attack Steve Trevor and Blizzard, but was shot by the same. Blizzard then froze him and then apologized before absorbing his heat, possibly killing him. The Weasel in James Gunn's Suicide Squad. In the Suicide Squad's film, the Weasel has a small role and is very different from comic books. In the film he has an animal form and cannot speak. But even so the character manages to get reactions from the viewers. 2 other videos from the channel will appear for you to watch.